Good morning and happy Easter to you. I'm so pleased that you're joining us this Sunday morning. I want to share a word with you today that is so hopeful on this Easter Sunday morning. A word that's so much better than just the fact that Jesus is alive. I want to share with you the fact that Jesus is the life that we have. And so this morning, I've been talking for a few weeks about the I am statements of Jesus in our church at Union Hill. And we've talked about how Jesus says, I am the vine and I am the good shepherd. And he's talked about how we can in him live and move and breathe and have our being and have the best of all that this world offers and even better, all that heaven offers because of our relationship with Jesus Christ. But the news this morning on Easter Sunday morning is even better than that. The news this morning on Easter Sunday morning is that Jesus is telling us that I am the resurrection and the life. Not that I offer resurrection, not that I can resurrect the dead. Jesus makes this startling statement in the middle of this really emotional moment where some of his very best friends have called for his help because their brother is sick. And when he arrives and he comes, he's delayed on purpose. And he shows up, and the brother, Lazarus, has already died. And Mary, the sister, has come to Jesus, and she's cried, and she said, why haven't you been here earlier? If you were just here on time, Lazarus would not have died. And this is what Jesus says to her in John chapter 11, verse 23. Jesus says to her, your brother will rise again. And Martha answers, I know he will rise again in the resurrection on the last day. And Jesus says to her, I am the resurrection and the life. He who believes in me will live, even though he dies. And whoever lives and believes in me will never die. Do you believe this? It's a very direct question that Jesus has for Martha and for Mary. And in this moment before he walks to the grave, the tomb where Lazarus has been laid, and he's there, and he calls Lazarus out of the grave, and the stone is rolled away for Lazarus so that he can come out. We have this in the week before Jesus here is going to die on the cross and be resurrected himself. We have this picture of Jesus being the resurrection for Lazarus. He's calling him out of the grave, and Lazarus walks forth. And he's got that simple question that he's asked Martha and Mary. He says, I'm the resurrection and the life. Do you believe that? If you believe, then you'll have life with me forever. Do you believe that? And then he demonstrates that he's the resurrection and the life by helping Lazarus walk out of the tomb. But you know what? As we've talked about the I am statements of Jesus over the last few weeks in our church, one of the things I've really found that's so very important is that these statements where Jesus says, I am the vine, or I am the good shepherd, or I am the resurrection and the life are not accidents. It makes me think back to Moses. Here, talking to the burning bush, when God is speaking to Moses, calling him to be the leader of his people and help lead them out in the Exodus, out of the Egyptian rule. And when Moses asked God the Father, who should I say is sending me? Because they'll never believe me. They'll never trust just my word. Who am I going to tell them is sending them? God says, you tell them that I am is sending you. Meaning he's not the past, he's not the future, he's the present. And really he's all of those things, the past and the future and the present all at once. And that statement, you tell them I am, is sending you. And then here's Jesus saying, I'm the vine, I'm the good shepherd, I am the resurrection and the life. Now to us, maybe that's a subtle way for him to claim to be God, but he wasn't so subtle all the time. In Mark chapter 14, he is brought before the leaders of the church at the time who've arrested him and tried to convict him of saying blasphemous things. And they come right out and they ask him in verse 61, the high priest asks him, are you the Christ, the Son of the Blessed One? And Jesus has a very simple statement. Very true statement, very significant statement. He says in verse 62, I am. I don't think that's an accident. I don't think that it's an accident that even in our English translation that this comes across in this way. Jesus is saying to us this morning, I'm the vine, I'm the good shepherd. I'm the resurrection, and I'm the life, and I am God. The question that he asked Martha and Mary, do you believe this? Is the question that we face today. Because while he told the disciples to roll the stone away from Lazarus' tomb and he called Lazarus out, on Easter Sunday morning, there was no one to call Jesus out and no one to roll his stone away. He is the resurrection. He rolled the stone. He rose to life. And this morning, his life is offered to you. The same resurrection power that rose Christ from the grave is alive in us through the Holy Spirit. So your doubt can be resurrected to faith. Your discouragement can be resurrected to assurance. Even our death can be resurrected to life. So this morning, this happy Easter morning, I want you to know that Jesus not only says that he is the resurrection and life, he claims to be God, and he proves it to be God, not just through the miracles he did for others, but most of all through the miracle of his own resurrection. This Sunday morning, Jesus is alive, and you can be too.